Yes, hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. My name is CPA Makan, and today I'm taking you through the same revision that we did last time. We did from question 1 to question 20. So we are proceeding with the same revision on April 2025 sitting. Therefore, enjoy this particular lesson, that is business mathematics and statistics. Today I'm going to finalize this particular sitting, then we begin with the quantitative analysis. So I go to question 21. Use the following information to answer question 21 to 25. The table below shows the shopping basket for a household and their corresponding prices and quantity for year 2023 and 2025. So we have the data given there. You can see, as I told you all the time, before you watch my videos, ensure that you download the questions from the CASNEP website, or I've also attached them to every video. So every video you see there, it has a link that will direct you to where the questions are. So therefore there is a table given there, which question says, question 2 says, question 21 says, calculate the last year's price index. Question 22, calculate the past year's price index. Question 23, calculate the Marshall's Edgeworth price index. And question 4, calculate the Fisher's ideal price index. So I've also covered this one in December 2024. If you go to December 2024, this particular question is similar from that particular area. So meaning that the questions keep on repeating themselves, and therefore our work will be very simple. So let's start with this. So we need first of all to get the table as it is. So the table given there is, we have the item here. We have rice. We have sugar. We have flour. We have beans. Then we have here price in shillings. We have 100, 160, 180, and 120. Then we have the quantity here. So the quantity is also there given. This is 60. This is 130. This is 200. And this is 210. Then we have the price there, which is now 120, 140, 170, and 150. We have the quantity. There we have 50, 140, 240, and 150. So this one here is for the year 2023, and this one here is for the year 2024. Now from this table you can see that we have been given 2 years. We have 2023 and 2024. 2023 covers these particular 2 columns, and 2024 covers these 2 particular columns. So therefore in this particular question, you have been asked, question 1, calculate the last pair's price index. That is question 21. So question 21, calculate the last pairs, which I'm going to represent it with the letter L. In this case, we normally say, for us to calculate last pair's price index, we are supposed to take Pico over Poco. You can see that statement. Then number 22 says you are required to calculate purchase price index. So letter P, which is given by Piki over Poki. And I'm going to explain the same. Then number 23, I've been told to calculate Marshall's Edgeworth. So Marshall Edgeworth is given by summation of Pico plus summation of PK over summation of POCO plus summation of POCI. I'm going to explain that, so don't worry about that. Then the last question is 24, which says calculate our Fisher's ideal. So F, calculate our Fisher's what? Ideal, which I will say now it is L times P square root. Now plus, I'm saying it is called PICO over, this is for the purpose of understanding and gramming the formula. So I've said it is PICO over POCO for the last pass. Then I've said also for past tense it is PICI over POCI. Then for the Marshall's Edgeworth is summation of PICO. This is summation of PICO, sorry. This one is PICO. Plus that. So the reason why I'm calling it PICO and POCO is this PI, this is P1, that is price after year 1, and PQO is the current price. So where there is PI, I'm calling it P. Then where there is QO, I'm calling it CO for the purpose of understanding. So therefore this is PICO, this is POCO, and this is PICI, and this is POCI. And therefore when you look at this formula here, it seems that we are just getting this information from last payers and past years price index. You can see PICO is here. That is the numerator. Then we have PICI, which is here, which is also the denominator. Therefore, when you take the numerators, the numerator for last payers and the numerator for past years, you will get what? You get Marshall Edgeworth. Then when you look at the denominator here, it is POCO, which is here, then POCI, which is here. So therefore it means that when you get summation of the numerators of last pairs and past years, you will get and divide by the denominator summation of the denominators of the two, that is last pairs and this one, you get what you call what? Marshall Edgeworth. Then once you get this as Marshall Edgeworth, for us to get the Fisher's ideal, it is just the root of the product of last pairs and the past years. So let's see. Whatever we have written here, we have to generate from the table here. Now, this one is saying PICO. Where is P? P means price after year 1. In this case, 2023 is our base year, and 2024 is our current year. So therefore, 2023 will be represented by O. If it is price, we will call it PO. And if it is quantity, we shall define it as what? QO. And for the year 2024, the prices will be referred to as P1. And the quantities will be represented by Q1. And for that case, look at what they are saying here. PICO, which is PIQ. This one is the price for the second year or the current year, multiplied by the quantities of the base year. So therefore, this column here of the PI, that is now PICO. Calculate the PICO. Correct? How do I get the PICO? I am multiplying the columns in the middle. The columns in the middle. That means PI and the QO. That is quantity of the base year and price of the current year. Then when I go to POCO, it's just only the base year. So I will pick now the base year, POCO. POCO means I'm picking the base year. Then you will see that I'm taking now the middle divided by the first column, first base values here. Then from there, you can see here is saying PICI, which means I'm taking the price for the first current year and the quantity of the current year. Then I go also to POCI, which is now this one here, which means I'm taking the first price, the price of the base year, times the quantity of the first year. So therefore, my summation will be now here. I will be getting the summation for the 4. And this one now will give us the answers for that. So now for the PICO, you will take the price of the current year, multiply by the quantity of the base year. Therefore, it means 60 times 120, 130 times 140, 200 times 170, and 210 times 200 and times 150. So if you take those columns correctly like that, the figures you are supposed to get are as follows. So if you press your calculator, the figures you are supposed to get, PICO, which is this one times that, your figures you get are 7,200, then 18,200, then you have 34,000. Then the last one is 31,500. So if I get this one, I will get now my summation, which is now summation is 90,900. So I have now the figure for the PICO. Then I go for the POCO, which means price of the base year times the quantity of the base year. So the answers I will get there are 6,000, 20,800, then I will get 36,000, finally I will get 25,200. If I get now the summation there, my answer is 88,000. When I go to PICI, which is now the current year, which is now 2024, the answers I will get there is 6,000, followed by 19,000, followed by 40,800, followed by 22,500. For the POCI, that is now the column for the price for the base year times the quantity of the current year, which is 50, 140, 240, and 150. So when I multiply that figure, the answer I get is 5,000 here, 5,000, 22,400. I will get 43,200. When you multiply, also get 18,000. So the summation here, I will get 88,900, and this one will give you 88,600. So you can see now, once we have this table here, you just fit in your formula now. So we have PICO, summation of PICO is this one, which is 90,000. This is times 100. This also times 100. This also times 100. Then this one is also times 100. Correct. So let's substitute now. PICO, you have now 90,900. You divide by POCO, which is 88,000. So when you multiply by 100, your answer you get there is 103. 103.295. That is how to get the last pairs. We go to purchase, which is now PICI, which is 88,900, divided by POCI, which is 88,600 times 100. So your answer there is 100 and 100.34. Then we have now the last one, which is now giving us the summation of PICO, which is PICO, this one, 90,900 plus summation of PICI, which is 88,900. You divide by POCO, which is 88,000 plus POCI, which is now 88,600. So if you work out this particular question very well, the answer you get there is 179,800 divided by 176,600, then you multiply by 100. So the answer you get there is 101.8 1. So you can see, then we go now to the last one, which is now L. We have already found last pairs, which is 103.29 times purchase, which purchase is now in this case is 100.34. You get the square root. So your answer you get when you work out the square root is 101 point. 101 point. Not 101, but 100 and not 100, not 101. So it will be, we take 103.295 times 100.34. You get the answer. Then find the square root of that answer. So your answer is 101.8. Yeah, that is true. 108 point. So you get 101.81. 101.81. So that is how you are supposed to work out these particular questions. That is how you are supposed to work out these particular questions. Now we go to question 25. Not 25, but 26. When you go to question 26, you have been told expand x minus 5 into y plus 7. So to expand, it is very simple. To expand this one, you take the first element, multiply by the elements in the second brackets. First element, multiply by the elements by the elements in the second brackets. Then go, after that, you go to the second element in the first bracket, multiply by all elements in the second what? Bracket. So let's see, it will be x times y plus x times 7. So which means it will give you x times y is xy, then plus x times 7 is 7x, minus this times this is negative 5y, this times that is negative 35. Once you have done that, look at it and see whether there is any common number. So there is no any common number, and that one marks the end of number 26. We go to number 27. 27 says, use the following information to answer question 27 to 29. The 12th term and the 20th term in arithmetic progress are 15 and negative 28, 25 respectively. 27. Calculate the first term of the series. So calculate the first term of the series. So when you are being asked to calculate the first term of the series, your work is very simple. First, you need to find out how do you find the nth term. So for example, assuming that my nth term like that, my nth term is given as first term, which is maybe a1, okay, plus into brackets n minus 1, then this. Therefore, D stands for difference, N stands for the number, the term you are looking for, and A1 stands for the first term. So this is our first term, and this is the number of terms, and this is the difference. In this case, now we come and substitute our equation. The question is saying, the question 27 is saying the 12th and the 25th. So we form that information. The 12th, meaning we will now say the 12th term, in this case, is now A1 plus into 12 minus 1 times that difference. So the answer I get here is A1 minus, plus 11D. And this one is equals to what? 15. That's what they are saying. Then when you go to the 21st, as I said 20th, the 20th term, in this case now will be A1 plus into brackets 20 minus 1d. This gives you 8a1 plus 19d equals to negative 25. You can see. Now it means this one here is equation 1 and this one here is equation 2. You solve this equation 1 and equation 2 simultaneously. So therefore it means you will take a1 plus 11d equals to 15. Then you take a1 plus 19d equals to negative 25. Correct? So I need to I use now elimination method. So I subtract this. So this one will give me negative 8d equals to, this one gives you negative 10. See negative 10? Negative 5, sorry. Negative 5. So that is negative 8 and negative, so not negative, but it will be 15 minus 25. So 15 minus 25, meaning now it will be 15 minus 25 will give you the addition. So this addition here will give you what? 40, right? So this one is 40. Then you divide by negative 8, divide by negative 8. So your d there, the d for that matter is negative 5. But is that what you have been asked to calculate? No. That d is the difference. So therefore we have been asked to calculate the first term. So you can pick any of the equations. Either pick the first equation or the second equation and substitute. Where there is d, you put your negative 5. Let me use the first equation. So it will give me now a1 plus 11 times d, which is negative 5, equals to 15. Correct? Now it will be 11 minus negative 5 will give me what? a1 plus minus 55 equals to 15. So when 55 crosses the other side, it becomes a plus. So therefore, our first term will give us what? 70. That is our first term. And that is exactly what the question wanted you to do. Question 28. Calculate the common difference of the series. So for our question 28, we have already found common difference, which is represented by letter D. In this case, we just copy and say this is negative 5. Correct? Then we have in 29. Compute the sum of the first 50 terms of the series. How do you get the sum, class? So our work is very simple also. Our work is simple. Our work is simple. So, we have been told to find the sum of the 50th item. So in this case, our work is simple. So how do you get sum, class? For 29 we say, sum of the nth item is given by n over 2 into brackets 2a, 1, or just a, let's just use 1. Then we say plus into brackets n minus 1 multiplied by d, everything like that. So when you look at this formula carefully, you find that this one here was used to find the nth term. This one was used to find the nth term. This one here. So what is also coming, where there is n is the position of that particular element. In this case, you have been told there is 50. Find the sum of the 50 what? Terms. Sum of the 50 terms. So where there is n, you put 50, divide by 2 into 2a. Remember, already a, we have found a to be negative 5. So we will put that. So is also already A is negative. Not A is negative, but sorry. A is not a negative but positive 70. So it will be 2 times 70 plus n in this case is 50 minus 1. Then D, we have found D to be negative 5. So you put there your negative 5. Then you go slowly. This gives you 25 into bracket is 140 plus, so this will be minus, it will give you a plus of how much plus? If you work out that point very well, you will get 49. This one will give you 49 plus 49 into brackets negative 5. So 49 times negative 5 will give you will get now here 25 into brackets 140 minus 245. So if you work out this correctly, the answer you get is negative 2625. So it will mean you take 145 minus 245 times 25, you get your answer as what? Negative 2625. 2625. Now number 30. Number 30 says use the following information to answer question 30 and 31. 3 partners wish to contribute capital towards a business of 1,080,000. Partner A will contribute twice as much as partner B. Partner C will contribute 3 times the contribution of partner B. Number 30, calculate the capital sharing ratio of partner A, B, and C. Number 31, calculate the difference between the highest contribution and the lowest contribution by the partner. So in this case now we have been given partners. We have partner A and partner B and partner C. So we need to form equations for us to solve this information. So these 3 partners are going to contribute 1,080,000 as capital. And therefore the question was saying, calculate the ratio of capital. How much will be contributed by partner A, how much will be contributed by partner B, and how much will be contributed by partner C. The second question is saying, calculate what is the difference between the highest amount contributed by the partner and the lowest amount contributed by another partner. For that case now, we are going to solve this problem. So let's go on. Now, A will contribute twice as much as partner B. So we can say let partner B be X, correct? So that partner A will contribute twice B. So it will be now 2X, correct? Once you have done that, it continues by saying partner C will contribute 3 times the contribution of partner B. So partner B is contributing X. So therefore C will contribute 3 times of that. So it will be 3X. So therefore our ratio will be 2X to the ratio of X to the ratio of 3X. So X, X, and X. So we'll have now 2 ratio 1 ratio 3. So this one is for partner A, partner B, and partner C. That is what you have been asked to calculate. Question 31. Calculate the difference between the highest contribution and the lowest contribution by the partner. But by the look of this information, the highest contribution is 3 and the lowest contribution is 1. So therefore, for us to calculate this one, we can say A, partner A, B, and C. And because we have been told already, we have been told to find out the difference between the highest contribution and the lowest contribution. Therefore, it means I will take this and this only. That is partner B and partner C. So partner A, partner B now, partner A will be removed. So partner B will be 1 over the total. What is the total here? Plus. So the total is how much? For that case, the total here is this plus this, that is 4 plus that is 6. So 6 times the total amount that was contributed. Then this one will be 3 over 6 times 1080. So for the first one, for AB, when you work out that for B carefully, the answer they are supposed to get is as follows. That is question 30. Question 30, you are supposed to get 180 for A, and then B 180. For B, you get now 180 contribution. Then once B is that, then 3 times this one will give you, if you multiply this one, your answer is 540. Then you have been told the difference, which means you need to subtract these two. So you take now 540,000, you minus 180,000. Your answer is 360,000 for that case. Question 32. Question 32 class. Use the following information to answer question 32 and question 33. So question 32 says, arithmetic. The following information relates to product J of Jax Limited. Arithmetic mean. Therefore, our mean, arithmetic mean is 27.5. Then mode, you have been given mode, which is repetitive, is 25.2. And then we have been given the standard deviation of 4.5. So the question 32 is saying, calculate the Pearson coefficient of skewness. Pearson coefficient of skewness is given by, how do we get that class? We take the mean minus mode, you divide everything by the standard deviation. So mean is already 27.5 minus mode of 25.2, you divide by the standard deviation of 4.5. So when you work out that question correctly, the answer you're supposed to get there is 0.51111. That is how that question was supposed to be calculated. Question 35. Question 35 class. Question 35 is saying, use the information below to answer question 35 and 36. The general manager, sorry, 30, yes, 30, is it 35, 32, 30, okay, yes, 35. 34, sorry, I need to calculate 34, not 35, 34. Calculate the number of ways to which a chairman, a treasurer, and a secretary form a group of 9 numbers. So this is permutation. So here we have been told, calculate the number of ways to which a chairman, treasurer, and secretary form from a group of 9. So therefore there are 3 outcomes here, which are 3. Then we have the summation. Folks, therefore, for us to calculate this one, the permutation of A, 9p equals to 9 permutation over 9 minus 3 permutation. So your answer here is 9 permutation over, this one subtract to get 6 permutation. Therefore, it means you multiply 9, this gives you 9 times 8 until you reach 1, times 6, times 5, times 4, times 3, times 2, times 1, over 6, times 5, times 3, 4, times 3, times 2, times 1. Then you divide, you are dividing now. So the whole of these 6 will cancel, and this one also will cancel. So our answer will be 9 times 8 times 7. So when you work out that answer correctly, the answer you get for that case is 504. 504. Then you go to number 35. Number 35, you have been given is a probability question. So you have been told, use the information below to answer question 35 and 36. The general manager of Real Limited revealed that out of 120 accounts receivable, 75 accounts were written off due to bad debts. From all the accounts receivable, 2 accounts were selected randomly for audit purposes without replacement. So there is no replacement. 35. Calculate the probability that both accounts are written off. So both accounts are written off. First, we have been given the amount there. Amount there is 120. Then 75 accounts were written off. So written off is 75. How much is unwritten off? How much is unwritten off, class? It will be 120 minus 75. It gives you 45, right? Yes, 35, 45. So number 35 says calculate the probability that both accounts are written off. Both accounts are written off consecutive. Remember that I'm saying they are following each other. So we have to write off 75, but 2 of them. 75 accounts were written off due to bad debts. From all the accounts received, 2 accounts were selected. So therefore there are 2. One of it, to write it off, one of it will be 75. So therefore your work will be very simple. To calculate that probability, we now say probability for us to calculate this one. I will take now 75. That is to be written off over the total 20. Then, because they are saying, in this case, they are saying it is both. So therefore, I will multiply by what is not written off. And written off is 45 over. So, because it is consecutive, there are only 2 that were picked according to the information. Therefore, it means, what do we do, class? It means we picked from 120. When you pick 1, it is now 119. So this one will be 119. Then you say now plus, correct? Oh, sorry. This one will be 119. That's the same. Both. Probability for both. It will be now 75 over 120. Then you multiply by how much? Now we are picking. So if we pick number 75, correct? If you pick number 74, it means number 74 will be now unwritten. So therefore you multiply by number 74, which is not written off. And therefore it will be out of 119 because you pick one after the other. So it will be 75 over 27, what is not written off, times what is unwritten off, which is 74 over 190, because 975 is to be written off. So in this case, you need from number 74 going forward will not be written off. So therefore it will be 74 over 110. So when you multiply that, the answer you get then will be 0.38865. Number 36. Number 36 says calculate the probability that one of the accounts is not written off. So one of the accounts is not written off. So it's almost the same. So you now say, okay, it will be 75 over 120. But now in this case, it will be what you have not written off, 75 over 119. Then we add what is not written off in this case is 45. If it is not written off, it will be 125, 145, 45 over 120 times 75 over 119. So like that. So when you work out this question very well, your answer you get is 0.23634 plus 0.23634, and your final answer is 0.4726. So when they say unwritten off, you take what has been written off, multiply by what is unwritten off, but 2 of them. So it will be like that. So this is how to answer this particular question. So we go to number 39. Number 39. So when you go to number 39, it is about the terms again. So, that 9, then we go to 40, which says, Kevin Kibet, a sole proprietor, purchased a pickup for 2 million with an estimated useful life of 5 years. Determine the annual depreciation rate, assuming Kevin Kibet uses the straight line depreciation method. So how do you calculate depreciation, class? We normally say depreciation in this case is calculated by cost minus scrap. Scrap in this case can be salvage value divided by the estimated what? Divided by the estimated life, useful life. So in this case, you have already been given the cost. So the cost is 2 million. But we have not been given the salvage value. So you can put it 0, divide by estimated useful life. We have been told it is what? 5. So when you divide this, your answer you get is what? 400,000. But the question was saying calculate the depreciation rate. So for us to calculate the depreciation rate, you have to say the depreciation amount. You need to take the depreciation amount over the cost. So therefore, my depreciation amount in this case is 400,000. So you take your 400,000, divide by 2 million in this case. Then you multiply by 100 what? %. So if you work out this question correctly, your answer you get is what? 20%. So that is how you are supposed to calculate that particular question. Question 41. Question 41 says, use the information given to answer question 41 to 43. A tourist visited Kenya with $14,500. He spent 10 days in a hotel at 18,000 shillings per night, totaling to 180,000 Kenya shillings. He also spent 5,000 shillings per day on meals, amounting to 50,000 for the entire stay. The tourist purchased 50 surveyors for 250,000, paid and 950,000 to a local tourist company for sightseeing. Additionally, he booked a return flight for 300,000. Overall, his total expenses in Kenya amounted to 1,700,000, which converts to approximately $11,770 at the exchange rate of $1 is equals to 147 shillings. So in this case, we have already been told that this particular person came into Kenya with the US dollars of 14,500. So 14,500. How much is this in Kenya shillings? So you now say it would be $1 equals to Kenya shillings for 147. What about 14,500? We give you how much? So it will be 14,500 times 147. So how much is this in Kenya shillings? So in Kenya shillings there, the answer you are supposed to get is 2,131,500. So that was number 41. 42 says, calculate the total expenses he incurred while in Kenya before paying for the flight. So in this case, we have expenses as shown. The first day that are saying he paid 10 days. He paid for 10 days in a hotel at 18,000 per night. So that is now night expenses. We have the night fee, 10 times 18,000. This gives you 180,000. Then they are saying also, he also spent 5,000 shillings per day on meals. So we have meals. So it means 10 times 5,000. Your answer is 50,000. Kenya shillings. Then they are also saying for the entire, the tourist purchased 50 souvenirs for 250,000. So souvenirs 50 for 250,000. Correct? For 50,000 paid, and paid 950,000 for 12 for sightseeing. So we have the sightseeing. For the sightseeing, in this case, he paid how much? 950,000. So how much would this person spend? So this person spent 1,430,000. 1,130,000. Then calculate the amount of money the tourist received after converting the remaining amount to US dollars as he was determined. So in this case, how much did he? This is number 43. So in this case, calculate the amount of money the tourist received after converting the remaining amount. So how much is the remaining amount? Remember, this is the total amount before paying the ticket. How much was the ticket? 300,000. So therefore, the total amount that he had was 2,131,500. You minus the total expenses, which is now this one here plus 300,000 for the ticket. But we are, for the question 42, we are told calculate the total expenses before tickets, a flight. So this one will give you 1,730,000. So how much is that? How much is that, class? So for that case, if you work out that particular question, is 401,500. This is Kenya what? Shillings. Convert this into US dollar. So you say now $1 equals to Kenya shillings 147. What about 401,500? So it will give you 401,500 divided by 140. So what is your answer, class? So if you divide that question correctly, the answer you get for that particular case is 2,731.3 US dollars. Then you go to number 44. Number 44 is now there. It says a trader sold a kilogram of nails at 360 shillings at a margin of 15. So he's selling a kilogram of nails at 360 at a margin of 15. So therefore it means, what is the selling price, class? So our selling price will be 115%, because he's selling at a margin. Margin means profit. So therefore in this case, calculate the buying price. So our buying price will be what? 100%. So therefore we'll now say 115% equals to 360 shillings. What about 100%? To give me how much? So this will give you 360 times 100 over 115. So if you work out that question well there, you are supposed to get 313. 313. Number 45. We are just coming to the end now. Number 47 there says, find the value of x. So we have been given 2 into power 2x minus 4 equals to 1024. So in this case, look at what is happening. We need also to write this one in the form of power. So it gives you 2 into 2x minus 4. This one in power of 2 will give you power 10. Because the bases are the same, you cancel. So your answer is 2x minus 4 equals to 10. So this one crosses this side. You get 2x equals to 10 plus 4, which is what? 14. So your x is what? 7. That is how you are supposed to calculate that particular question. And that one now marks the end of April 2025 Business Mathematics and Statistics. Therefore, I hope and believe that class has been very useful when it comes to revision, and therefore I hope and believe that you will pass and will be able to let me know on 0735 346 777 that it is true, that is indeed true. These videos that I've done based on the current past papers have helped you to pass very well. Kindly, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube and if you have not shared with your friends, kindly invite your friends to YouTube CPA Macan. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and you'll have as many videos as possible. But like now, I've just finished this one, so next time I'll be starting quantitative analysis right again from question 1 to the last question, and we shall be handling those questions right away here. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful time ahead. Welcome.